What is up, everybody, and welcome. We made it to episode 100 of the Camera Junkie live stream, and thank you for taking the time and hanging out here with me for this celebration event or episode 100 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream. We hit triple digits, we're in the triple digits zone, and this is something that coming 2 years ago I would have never thought would have been even a thing, and now it's something that I'm so proud of, and it is such a staple of my every week, and I can't thank you all enough for being part of it and making it to what it is. As you can see, there's been a couple of changes. There's some more to come because, to be 100% honest with you, the changes that I wanted to make to the live stream, I wasn't able to implement them. And some of them I still haven't fully polished out. As you can see, you could probably hear Aiden in the background as normal, but we're just hanging out. And let's see who's here in the stream. We have Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator. Let's see. Oh, that came out way too small. Let's fix that once again. See? Always fixing things on the fly. But this is also another thing. I actually want to create a scene where the... Okay. Can I undo that? Okay, we'll undo that again. Perfect. That's something good to know. I did not know that at all, but if you mess up, you can Control Z on Ecamm Live and it will take you steps back so that the framing is the way it's supposed to. But let's lock that down. We have Tom Buck in the house. Mr. BZ saying what's up. He's saying congratulations. 100 weeks in a row is absolutely phenomenal. So excited. Super proud of you, buddy. Thanks, man. That really means a lot coming from you. You know, someone who is who's helped me better understand my own potential and is one of the big factors of why I started live streaming, and look at where I'm at now. So thank you, man. It means a whole lot. And I had to tell you, I was really happy with your live stream the other day. I didn't even realize how much I missed you and Heather on being on a live stream, just because there's been so much running around, but it was really cool to see both of you on the screen, and hopefully I'll see you guys a bit sooner again. All right. We also have Kevin Cox in the house saying what's up and hello to all. Says big time congrats on 100 episodes. Well, thank you, sir. You have been here for so many of them, being one of my moderators here in chat and everything like that. So I can't thank you enough for always, taking the time. And I know you're on the West Coast, being able to catch the show whenever you've been available. Talking about Michael, how are you doing, sir? Congrats on this milestone. Glad to be here for it. Well, thank you. And it was nice meeting you over there at People of Video, which is something that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later, because I compiled my selfie pictures that I took from that event and a couple of other pictures that I wanted to share with, you guys later today. We're doing things a little bit off the cuff because I am going to be switching up the live stream as well. There are different aspects of it that I want to switch up. Some of them are basically that I want to see how I can create more purposeful content with it, and kind of the format of how I do things is where I'm probably going to be making some changes, because they say, Roberto Blake is one of the ones that always says make 100 crappy videos and then assess where you're at. Well, this is 100 live streams, and whether they're crappy or not, it's 100, and now I'm going to assess to see where I'm at and see where I want to move forward from here. This is, like I said, such a big accomplishment that I wasn't even expecting to accomplish or to even have, a couple of years ago. And now it's like the highlight of my week, and so many amazing things have derived and spawned from it that I am just extremely grateful and excited for what the future is going to bring, because there's no signs of me stopping at all. So that's not what's gonna happen. What's going to happen is like an expansion of the very things that I'm doing and trying to produce more. So at this point, I'm putting the onus on myself in trying to create more content, both from the live stream itself and more pre-recorded content. And that includes my clientele work that I've been able to put more on. So I'm putting it on myself to make it happen because the time is now. And like I said, I'm super excited. I've made so many amazing friendships, relationships that have just been so fruitful that I wish that for every one of you. So I would love for my story somehow to inspire you to do the same or similar things, to blaze your own trail, and know that if you put yourself out there, your vibe will find your tribe. And I've heard that before so many times, but it might be cliche, but it is very, very true. And I couldn't be happier. I just couldn't be happier because the people that I now surround myself with are top notch. And I am truly grateful and humbled for the experiences of getting to know these individuals and being able to call them my friends. So, yep. Says from the home studio to bathrooms to oceanside views, not one missed episode. That's very true, Mr. Duncan. That's why you're the master moderator, and you know that I've thanked you so many times, both on and off camera, that you are just a vital part of this Camera Junkie crew as well. But you're someone that I have to meet in person, but that'll be coming in the future. Tech Troublemakers in the house saying what, number 100. Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Sarkeezy is in the house saying congratulations. Sammy is also here saying hey, saying congrats. And Mr. Paul Duncan is saying if you want to help support, yes, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Camera Junkie, or you can go to the link where he has it there. But yes, you can find air horn. Where is it? Actually, I've been having some issues, so let me put the volume back up on my sound effects. I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago that I was having that issue. There's a couple of things. There we go. There's a couple of things on the Rodecaster Pro that has been acting a little funny. You know, Tom, if you're still here, I'm going to hit you up because before I say anything, you understand, of the things, I would love to find out if you were having any of these experiences that I'm having with my Rodecaster Pro before I say anything, you know? I literally just want to pick your brain, you know, no, nothing too serious. And Kevin is saying, has everyone remembered to hit that like button? That's right. Make sure you hit that like button and you punch it right in the face. Is highly appreciated. Says life needs Control Z. Bro, you said it, bro. But I'll tell you the truth. Control Z on the Mac is something different. And the fact that, you know, like I can mess up a scene, and instead of like trying to like, oh man, I'm never going to get the adjustment right, because I wouldn't be able to get all of that just by eye, especially when I literally just kind of copy and paste every individual scene so that all of the cameras kind of don't sway as far as the framing goes, and only that the image goes. So if I were to move that, even if it's a milli-inch, you'd be able to, you know, notice it. So the fact that you can just Control Z and hop back to the same exact location, that's something that I just learned today, and it's hella cool of Ecamm. But that's another thing. If you're wondering how I'm getting all of these, you know, comments on screen and how I'm doing the camera switching, and this entire production is done through the power of Ecamm. So I highly recommend you check it out. And if you use my link, MCJ, you get your first 30 days free when you sign up with Ecamm. Link in the description. Robert is in the house saying happy 100. Thank you very much. It says, are the weekly streams continuing? Absolutely. That's not going to change. The thing is, like I was mentioning, I'm going to expand on it. The format that I'm going to go into, or what I'm thinking about going into, is leading more to having more post-production content. I'll let you guys know because I'm not exactly sure, but I am planning on making episode, like 101 be episode 01 of the Camera Junkie podcast. So what I'm going to do is, like the same way that I bring in my weekly thought, I'm going to try to polish that a little bit better to not have it so sporadic and bring that content first thing as soon as I start the live stream. So as soon as I start the live stream, I'm gonna format it to the way where I am just kind of blurting out this content and getting that out of the way. As soon as I'm done with that, then the rest will be like communication with everyone in the Camera Junkie crew. I'm going to try to eliminate the countdown timer, but I'm not sure because it really depends on how I want to do it. It depends on how I feel will flow the best for the way that I'm doing it. So for example, I'm going to try to do it without a countdown and get right into the content, and then hit you guys up and hang out with the community, hang out with the Camera Junkie crew, and then kind of just close it out and see how I can repurpose that content. But either way, what I think is going to be the biggest change is that you're going to kind of have to be in the live stream to enjoy the chat fully, because I think I am going to be cutting off either the beginning or the end or both, depending on how I do it. So the live stream chat is not going to stay. It's something that I've always enjoyed, but in all sincerity, I haven't been able to go back to any of those videos and enjoy the chat because I'm kind of like on this snowball rolling downhill, and the things that I've been able to do in the past, they're really hard for me to try to keep the context of the conversations. So moving forward, even though I absolutely love all the comments and everything that happened in the community, that's why I will continue to do the live stream. I just don't know if that's going to be something that will be saved with the video going from here on out, and it might be something that might be removed from the previous 100 videos, because I want to see if maybe I can try to repurpose those videos as well, and maybe try to condense them into a way that they're more bingeable, so to speak, right? One of the features that YouTube actually took off this latest update, which I'm really kind of upset about, is the sort by oldest. So if I were to go like onto Tom's page, right, and I were to check his videos, I used to have the ability to go into it and sort the videos from oldest to newest, allowing me to kind of like catch up on all of the content that he made and in order. It's one of these things that I honestly tell you I totally dislike from podcatchers, right? Like Apple Podcast Player. It will play the latest episode, even though that's like the last one in the series, right? So if I find a new podcast and let's say it's story based, I want to be able to go to the beginning and start listening to the first episode from episode 1 and hear the progression as it goes, because conversations and like, how can I say, inside jokes, different things like that, they are all predicated on that, sequence. Something that happened in the past will kind of keep rearing its head through each episode as it goes on. So for that reason is why I don't think that the podcast players are really best designed to binge podcasts, because you're playing all of the podcasts in reverse. You're playing the latest episode and then the one that gave it context is going to be played after the one you just heard. Let me know what you guys think when it comes to podcasts in that aspect, because I really like to be able to do that. And that's kind of what I have in mind to do with my previous live streams, and to continue to do that with a podcast. That is the idea that I have in the works, but it really doesn't take away my weekly live stream, which is what I enjoy the most, hanging out with you amazing people and having a conversation about cameras and a bunch of different things, whatever ends up coming up, right? There's been so many impactful moments for me in my own life that happened on this live stream, and it means so much to me that it's not something that I would say that I would ever stop doing. That's why if you guys are concerned, that's not something that should be happening at all, but it's just getting the most out of the weekly show, and trying to repurpose the content in a better format to try to expand my reach as Mr. Camera Junkie. All right, I spoke a lot there, so let me get something to drink. I need to buy some water. I ran out today. Kevin says, have to say, I'm really digging the lighting changes in the front-facing camera. Thank you. These are just a couple of different things I wanted to kind of brighten up also the scene. It makes it easier for me. Also with Aiden, so many things have changed because the lighting that I had before was always dark, and it was always purposeful for the reason that I was always trying to keep Aiden asleep. So try to be like real quiet and, like not make too much noise, and try to keep the lights down to keep little man asleep. But at this point he's part of the show and he just hangs out. So now it's like, it's better off that he stays awake, playing around and hanging out, instead of him taking a nap. That then once I was done with the live stream, he would wake up and keep me up till like God knows what time at night. So switching things up to benefit us both. But at this point, I would like to get your opinion as well, to see if you guys think maybe 10 o'clock is something that would interest you instead of 11 o'clock on Saturday nights, because I'm also thinking that maybe with a little bit of the change, I changed the hourly time to make things both easier for you guys who are watching and myself. But I've been so locked down to kind of just be saying like every Saturday at 11 it's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think, if 10 o'clock sounds something that I should attempt. Hey, Art is here saying, yo, I made it, hermano. Congrats on 100. Hey, thank you. That means a lot. And congratulations to you as well on your new kind of like photography adventure, so to speak, with the mixed martial arts. So I really am enjoying your like kind of behind the scenes, and I wish you all the best on that endeavor. I'm big on MMA, so last week we had an amazing week of fights, but that will be a conversation for another day. Hey, Ashley is in the house. Thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you for the congratulations. That it means a lot, man. I appreciate you, and that's super cool that you were able to make it. Thanks. Says, I have had no issues with mine, but you might be trying something more complex than me. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's something that sounds so simple, right? But whenever I restart my computer, or better said, like at night when I shut down my Rodecaster Pro 2. And then in the morning when I wake up, I turn it back on and it just does not connect to my computer. It just doesn't. And every day I have to go behind my Rodecaster Pro, disconnect the the USB-C and then just reconnect it. And then it's almost like, okay, now it sees it. So, you know, a bunch of little things like that, right? That have just been like, okay, I guess I'm just used to it, right? And I just I've made a workflow around it, but I don't think that that's the way that it should be working. So if you haven't had any issues at all, then I have, and I really have to hit up either, what is it? These people. B&H, right? B&H, because I think that's where we got it. So I need to check an RMA with B&H. Tom's in the principal's office for not using a queue. I love it. He goes, it was a rhetorical question. He goes, yeah, that's definitely on purpose. It says, that's awesome idea. I can't wait to see how the podcast evolves. Definitely, man. It's something that now I think the final thing about me doing an actual audio only podcast, or like extracting audio only from the live stream and making that the podcast, is the fact that I've been doing it for the flow with Ecamm with Katie and Doc, and being able to see that aspect and work in that field is just, it was always something that I was trying to get enough time to learn, right? And to be able to do something, you know, kind of right, like not just half-ass it, you know, whole-ass it. And at the same time, you know, I got the opportunity with the flow that now is giving me the idea to work this out. One thing is that I'm planning on doing a weekly podcast the same way that I do my weekly live stream. But at the same time, I don't think that episode 1 is going to come out in a week. I'm going to work out and building out a buffer, right? And in that buffer, maybe of like 4, maybe 5 episodes that I'm going to put in to see exactly which format is going to work the best for me moving forward, so that I can be consistent with it, because I want to work that out and also have like 4, maybe 5 episodes in already kind of as that buffer, right? To give me the convenience to be able to continue to make the live streams as a podcast and vice versa without there being like a hiccup. To also give me, like I said, to give me the right amount of bandwidth so that I can keep it as consistent as I've been able to keep my live stream. I don't want to try to start something and like I said, half-ass it. I want to be able to make the most of it, and something that I want to continue doing. Diego Yonamine, hopefully I'm saying that right, said, always lurking, and it's cool to watch you on Roberto streams. An awesome next 100 for you. Keep it up. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for actually not lurking today and introducing yourself to the stream. And I really do appreciate the motivation. So thank you. It says, Doc says he's going to go without intros for the month of November to test it out. These are the things that, you know, that I'm always talking with Doc Rock. So these are conversations that we're constantly having, not always, constantly having. We're always bouncing ideas off of each other to try to level up, you know, our own content. So that's something that we have talked about on a weekly basis for a while now. And he's been saying like FYI, which is like your intros, right? So that's basically how he sees it, but more having to do with the live stream, because I don't have intros in my pre-recorded content, and the only intro that I would have that would be considered that is the countdown. The reason why I have a 2-minute, 3-minute countdown is very simple. I know for a fact that the people that I follow, when they do live streams, I get some of the messages that they went live 2 or 3 minutes after they've been live. So for me to try to not miss, right, like any content, or to try to provide as much content to the people who are willing to watch. That's kind of why I had the mentality of having that live stream, so that all of the notifications would go out and have everyone there. And when like everyone has done so, then at that moment, the show gets started and we're hitting the road. What is it? Yeah, hit the road running, so to speak. I think that's a term. I think so. Oh wow, we have someone has bought me some coffee. Tom Buck bought me some coffee. Thank you very much, sir. Highly appreciated. Let's open up the app to see if I could find out who else. I saw Tom Buck. Oh wow, I haven't even logged in such a long time. It's asking me to relog in to find out. That's funny. I'm not logged into the Buy Me a Coffee, but it gave me a notification, right? Come on. And now, is it giving me? I think that's someone that doesn't say. I think that's Randy. So if it's you, Randy, I appreciate you for the coffee as always. The other one says Tom Buck, so I really do appreciate it. All right, that is awesome. It says, I enjoy watching creators' first videos. It's like the origin story of sorts. I will miss sorting by oldest. Absolutely, man. Like, I'm the same way. I love being able to see that. You see the progression, and it's something that I used a lot to motivate myself, right? Whenever you see someone that like I mentioned before, Josh Yo, like I look at his content and I stay amazed. I'm like, how is this dude on YouTube, right? But at the same time, I see the stuff of like his origin story, and to see that his first videos were great, but not to the level that he's at now, and that he's still upgrading his skills. Somebody else just got me some more coffee. Thank you so much for everyone who's buying me a coffee. I know you don't have to, but the fact that you are doing it means the world to me. I don't think that it's lost on me, because it is absolutely not. This is the things that I stay the most amazed, the most grateful, and the most humble, because I can't emphasize enough that I go 2 years ago of and in October 2 years ago, let's not even go there. I'll get all like emotional, because so much has happened. And this little guy right here, this is the Sony ZV-1F. This is a little milestone camera for me, and I'll mention that in a little bit. So John is here saying congrats on 100. Thank you. So Dr. Elo's saying the same. Congrats on reaching 100. Thank you so very much. It says, being able to follow the progression sounds great. I'll try to go back and find the beginnings to get really to know the podcaster and vodcaster. Yeah. Dr. Elo says 10 p.m. Eastern works. Everyone's saying either time is cool. Says you should do what's easiest for you guys. We can adapt to whatever time happens to be. Well, thank you. That means a lot. Says I would like 10 p.m. But you see, I'm seeing that 10 p.m. is looking like it's a good hour for the Saturday nights. And if I can try to just work it into my routine, because before, and I'm being honest, before I was running around all over South Florida fixing phones, and I knew that like 10 o'clock was my cutoff. So that's why midnight was my live stream, because I knew it. And then when I started slowing down and started bringing down that cutoff time from 10 o'clock to around 8 p.m. is when I changed it from midnight to 11. And now I'm not doing any phone repairs. Like it sounds funny, but I've been messaging everyone that's been hitting me up for phone repairs that I'm thankful for them thinking of me for the repair, but I am taking advantage of new opportunities and I am no longer doing repairs at the moment. And that is like my little phrase that I've been texting to everyone. And I'm so proud of that because I am taking advantage of new opportunities that have blossomed into, just to be honest, something that's made me so happy, right? And that's where most people kind of don't put into factor, right? Like there's so many things that we could be doing right now, but I am lucky enough that I get to do this, that I get to do a weekly live stream, that I get to be in contact and edit with, Ecamm or for Ecamm, and that I've totally shift gears into video editing and content creation, and that's what my day-to-day life consists of. I sit here and we're on this platform, and this is why I tell you none of this gets lost on me. But check this out, right? I am good friends with Mr. Sean Boyd, also known as Doc Rock. Doc Rock is very, very good friends with Rene Ritchie, that they go back hella years, right? And through that friendship, I am, how they say, within 1 degree of contact of Rene Ritchie, someone that we're acquaintances, that we know of each other, right? But not as close as I am with Doc Rock. But I digress, because out of everything, I am within 1 degree of separation from the platform. And when I say the platform, I mean the entire platform. All of YouTube. Listen to, like, from Malaysia to China to Canada to South America, all of YouTube, there's one creator liaison, and that happens to be none other than Sir Rene Ritchie. And that's why I say, like, I sit here in awe to say that I am in the group of content creators that is so in tune with the platform, that the liaison that the platform themselves chose is someone that's within my circles. Like, how crazy is that? Think about that. Like, there are so many food content creators out there that have like a massive channels. They're doing mukbangs. They're doing, like Doc says, hand in the pans and all this stuff. Yet somehow I'm within the creator circles that are directly in contact with the platform itself. I sit here in awe and super humbled and grateful, but that's why I say I recognize these things and they're not lost on me. And that's why I sit here with, like they say, a shit-eating grin on my face and can't take it off, because of the simple fact that I am so grateful and amazed at all the things that have happened, including having so many amazing people. Like 20 dope ass people are in the stream right now hanging out with me, and this happens on a weekly. And just I can take an hour just on that, but we'll continue because there's still so many comments here. It says, are you direct into the Mac or through some type of hub? I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to say for that. If you can let me know if you're being more specific on what aspect. I am running everything off my Mac Studio, and I have right now only 3 cameras connected, but that they're all connected into the Mac Studio. So I don't know if that answered your question. But I have no hub. The only thing is I have a, what is it? A USB-C. Well, it is a hub, right? Yeah. It is a USB-C hub for multiple connections, but I use it for like my Stream Deck, my mouse, and an external hard drive that's also part of it. Tom says, oh, that's super weird. My RCP hasn't had any connections problem running directly through the Mac Mini. The computer automatically switches when I turn. Yeah. So like I said, it's my hardware. So I have to, take it in so that it could get a checkup. But I've never done it before, so I got to figure out how I do it. But, she'll be missed because she's got to go into the doctors. Valerie Pinkston is in the house saying, wow, the big 100. Paul just told me about it, and I was like, I had to come and wish you the big congratulations. So happy for you. Thank you. It's 100 weeks, but this is the whole thing. I'm starting to implement these changes, and I want to have them ready because all of these things that I want to implement, I'm going to try to implement within the next 4 weeks. And like I said, I'm going to try to implement them within the next 4 weeks, because in the next 4 weeks will be episode 104, and 104 is 52 times 2. That means that is actually 2 years. So 4 weeks from tonight, we will be celebrating my 2 years of consecutive live streaming, which is episode 104. That's why episode 100 is triple digits. This is a number that most television shows will love to reach. And this is something that I've been able to, amass from my room on a weekly basis. And it's something that I'm really proud of. And but there's still so many more milestones to come and so many more celebrations. So another one should be in about 4 weeks at episode 104, which is 2 years on the platform. On the weekly live stream. Richard said, mine does that too once in a while. I have to pull out the USB. Okay, so you see, like, that was the thing that wasn't the most bothersome thing. The one thing that only put in my mind about the USB is like the long term, port, so to speak, like wearing out the port, plugging it in and out, so on and so forth. But being that it's a physical port is something that could be replaced. So it's kind of like tires on a car. Wasn't really worried about that. The other issues have to do more with the electronics of, like the sound effects and different things like that, like the crowd, cheering and stuff like that coming in, and it wasn't working the way that it should. So there's, that's one of the few quirks on this system that needs to get a checkup. So with the latest Apple updates, my Wi-Fi and USB ports are messing up. This is another thing. Like, I haven't gotten an update through the beta program in a long time. I don't know if it's just me or that I'm stuck on an older beta, but I'm also like, I don't know if they've come out with a new one. I haven't received it. I can tell you system check. Let me see which one. Information. It says I'm up to date. And I'm on that 1.0.7. So let me know if there's a newer update that maybe somehow mine got stuck on stupid and now it's no longer like finding the updated beta files or anything like that. So it could be something that simple, hopefully. But if not, we'll have to check it out. Michael says, I agree. It's all about knowing when to find you. The better the schedule works for you, the better the stream. Absolutely. And the other thing is, like, Paul mentioned it to me, I was really exhausted in those mobile live streams, the one that I was on the road. And there was one that I was like literally falling asleep. So also another thing is also to make sure that I have the most energy for the stream. Work it out from both ends. So buffering episodes is great as life happens. Absolutely. Dr. Elo saying what's up to everyone. Tom says, I think short countdowns are good for streams. Like I said, I'm down to 2 minutes. I'm not sure, but if I am going to be cutting it out either way, then it really is going to be like irrelevant, right? It really doesn't matter. So if I end up cutting the live streams, no, give me that. All right, Aiden. All right. So like I was saying, if I am going to end up like cutting off where the chat is going to be removed, whether it's in the front or the end, then it really doesn't matter because I can still add the countdown, do the content, cut off the end, cut off the countdown beginning. And, like I said, the chat replay is going to get sacrificed in that aspect. But I also think that it's going to be better for like the replay aspect of the live streams, hypothetically the podcast moving forward. Everyone's saying what's up to Dr. Elo. And Mr. Paul Duncan is saying you can pick up some great merch at Mr. Camera Junkie Live.merch. Yeah, you can pick up my upgrade your skill shirts. That's another thing. Thank you for mentioning it, Paul. Man, you're keeping me on track, bro. Like, that's another thing that I'm looking to expand on as well. One idea that hit me that I was like, I'm always saying upgrade your skills, which is kind of like my moniker now, right? What hit me is that I only have like one design of that moniker when I could design multiple. Now, this is something that I have yet to have gotten to use, but Aiden is requiring me to use it today, which is my Be Right Back screen. It might be looking like the old one, so let's see. Yep. Okay, there we go. Boom. So now, before I switched up the entire live stream, I actually got to use my Be Right Back screen. So I got to get some use out of it after all. All right, so we were here, we were saying, what's up? Oh, what I was talking about was the merch, right? Because Paul had mentioned it. So I only have one design of the upgrade your skills. What clicked my bell was kind of to just do the same thing that Mr. Jared Poland does, right? Which is take the same phrase like the I shoot raw and have it in multiple different styles or text style formats. So there could be a cursive written upgrade your skills that might be more attractive to a female creator who wants to wear the moniker on a shirt. So I'm thinking of expanding the same branding of like upgrade your skills into multiple designs and having that, see how that works out. We're kind of like taking shots in the dark here. And if any of you are not aware and have heard that YouTube has changed a lot, they have. So basically anything that you've been told or taught, excuse me, kind of try to figure things out all over again or blaze your own path. That's where we are with the platform right now, and I've already been on that trek of like kind of blazing my own path. So hopefully it just comes to fruition now and I get what's the word, discovered, right? Because that's the whole thing. I'm known within my community, but it's not like I've been yet to be discovered, and that's where it will happen in due time. But I am very, very happy with the pace and the way things are going right now. So no complaints, and I'm very happy with the way things are right now. But we're gonna see how we can try to expand to have the reputation, right? Or the rapport that we're building to just be as natural as possible. Aiden, what's up? Guys, Aiden has been Mr. Cranky Pants like all week. He has been Mr. Cranky Pants all week. He's made this week very difficult, extra difficult. Come on. Stand up. Come on, man. Oh, this guy. Oh, come on. This is how he's been. He has been wanting to be carried, wanting to being carried around. So this guy, he loves it. He's just been asking a whole lot of it this entire week. All right. Says being able to stop making computer house calls for friends and family was a great day. Absolutely, right? Like when you're able to just cut that out and know that, hey, you know, your new endeavors actually being fruitful to the point. Like I've mentioned it to a couple of people that I spoke to about this subject in particular, which is like, it's so tough because it was like my own creation, right? It was like my own business to be kind of like quitting, so to speak. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Mr. Paul Duncan just let me know that my over-the-shoulder view is muting my microphone. So let's see which camera that is. But yeah, like actually, you know what? Let's just go to the main camera. We'll do that for now. That way. Because right now, to try to figure out which camera is muting me with this guy on my shoulder, that's not going to happen. So, like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, to make the house calls, like, yeah, to be able to see that your next endeavor is fruitful, but the fact that you have to give up, like you have to stop doing something that you created yourself, like me with the phone repair business, it was really tough for me to just kind of how can you say, yeah, to just kind of like kill your darlings, how they say, and to move on. Like the thing that allowed me to do it was the fact that I was successful, right? Like I made a iPhone repair business out of nothing and build a reputation that I still get calls and text messages and people word of mouth like every day. Like every day I'm like, hey, I got your number from my friend and he says that you fix phones. Hey, I like a lot of the times it's just a picture of a broken phone that they just want to quote on, you know, and that's why I say it's really tough because it was something that I built from nothing. And I am super grateful for all of my Mr. Fix-It clientele. But right now, it just reached to the point where anything that I do on that side is a detriment to what I'm trying to build with the Mr. Camera Junkie. And this whole thing being fruitful already. And like I said, the relationships, the people that that I'm in contact with, like the fact that I get to speak with Doc Rock, right? And he's someone that I have a text message history with, someone that I spent close to a month living with just basically in the last month is experiences of my life that I wouldn't change for anything in the world. And I'm super grateful. And if the smile on my face is not evident enough, I'm very happy where I am now, and even happier and even more ecstatic for the potential of the future and the things that are to come over the horizon that I don't even know, right? But I just know that it's only like onward and upward, and that's why I'm like just ecstatic. Carlos Tacos is in the house saying congratulations, homie. Thank you, thank you. It says I've had issues with my USB device through the hub that costs similar to what you're having with the RCP. Oh, so that's what you were saying. If I'm connected directly to it, no, the RCP of all of my gadgets is connected directly to the computer, so there's no hub interference or anything like that. That's why I'm saying the issues that I'm having. Yeah, and the whole thing is my hub hasn't given me an issue. I don't have the camera in place right now. I just don't have it connected, but my overhead camera is actually connected through a connection on that USB hub. So I even have one of my 4 cameras connected through the hub because of the extra USB, and that one still doesn't even give me an issue. So, but if it was the RCP, yeah, not a that gets connected directly to the machine. Mulain TV is saying hi there. He's saying hello. How are you? Says I'll be back 12/4. We'll hook up this time. Okay. Okay, so thank you for that information. Dr. Elo's letting me know that the 1.0.7 is the current one. Okay. Said, dude, thank you. I was on point of quitting for the fight photography for some personal stuff. It's super motivating to hear you say that. Man, look, I'll tell you the truth. I'm such a big, UFC fan that's something that I wish I could do, right? Like just go in and ask for like a press card for a fight while they're down here. But the prince needs attending to. Let's try to not mute daddy while we're live. Okay, let's try not to. And unfortunately with my situation, going straight for the mute button. Get over here, man. And unfortunately I don't have any help right now, right? And like I said, right now there's things that are going to change. And I will have more free time in the future. But right now, priority number 1 is this dude. And then I take care of me. So I sit here and I spectate from the background and I watch the UFC fights and everything on a weekly basis. That is my, kind of like the sport that I continue to follow. I've pretty much dropped off all others just because of the season aspects of it and the fact that the UFC is on the weekends when I have my free time and more weekly is why I've been able to continue to follow them. Let me put this guy down. But yeah, I would love to have the night off and go shoot photography pretty much of anything, to tell you the truth, right? Just of anything. It's really hard, but I also have to make that extra effort because there's a couple of things that I want to do, right? Comparisons videos that I know that I have to go above and beyond, and Aiden is just gonna have to hoof it with me. That's it. All right. So over here, he's also saying about the time frame, does whatever works for me. Thank you very much. Because what about something shorts worthy as opening to fill time as viewers come online and start the live stream? That's kind of what I was thinking. It's funny that you mentioned that, Roy, because of the simple fact that, how could I say? What I'm thinking is there's these new trailer intros, right? Or the live stream trailer. I want to make one basically just breaking down kind of like the rules, right? So that I don't have to explain it so much when it comes to every live stream. So if somebody shows up and they're there just a couple of minutes early, they're able to see the trailer where I would introduce, let them know what's going on, kind of like the format of what's going to happen so that they know what to expect as soon as the live stream kicks off. But yeah, I really think that something of that aspect is what I was thinking. you know, and just to let you guys know, I was thinking of making like a video collage, right? Like a video intro as part of my countdown. Basically something that I can kind of like use, but then maybe also add to it as the time progresses. So what I'm thinking is like I want to make a video collage of like a lot of the selfie pictures that I took while I was, you know, like on my month-long road trip, and a lot of the photos that I use of that. So I'm thinking of making like a photo collage to be like kind of the countdown timer instead of just having like a looping video. And that's something that this week, even though I'm very aware this week we're not going to be doing Cities Gaw, I just did not want to like add that to the mix. But what I am going to do, let me set this up now. Set that up like that. So we're gonna drag this. No. There we go. And now I believe we'll be able to do this. Boom. There we go. All right. So this is Doc Rock, Aubrey, and Michelle. This is just us. These are just some of the photos that I was able to take. This is the rear-facing camera on the iPhone 11. So not a bad photo. A lot of the other ones are going to be... a lot of the other ones are going to be front-facing camera, and you can tell the difference. This is like Michelle. This is... Gretchen is there to the left, me in the middle, Aubrey hanging over the top, and Michelle to the right. This is another photo of, this is going from left to right, Anna Hale, Full Judge Henry. We have Keely, we have Katie, we have, oh man, I'm running a blank right now. I was going to say Austin, but that's not Austin. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude, because I'm just running a blank on his name. He does the customer support for Ecamm. So if you've ever placed a ticket, he's the one who's Tyler. Oh God, brain fart. So that's Tyler right there, and then to the right, Doc Rock. All right. As you can see, we have some of the same. Oh look, Richard Sarkeesian is in the middle. He's here in chat. And on the upper left hand, we have Gigi, who you might have seen in the chat as well. Glenessa, so she's here. So going once again, Michelle, Glenessa, Keely, Richard, and Gretchen, me in the center. We have Kathy in the back, Gigi to the right, and that's India Delgado in the middle. Okay, so this is Jerry to the left, and then Michael, that's here in chat as well, to the right. This is some of the selfies that we took over there. This is Dan Career. He is the producer of the People of Video event. This is Emily D. Baker. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She's the lawyer lady on YouTube. She hosts massive live streams. Her channel blew up like to nobody's business during the Johnny Depp, Emily Heard trial. I think that's their names. But yeah, the Heard Depp trial, her channel blew up. She was doing a daily live stream breaking down everything that was going down. Just really cool person, amazing channel. All right, this is Jay, I think his name was. I'm running a blank right now. This is Tim Schmoyer. This is a selfie he was able to take over there. This is Owen Hemsath, also known as Owen Video. LD. Laura Davison from Shure. She's, so if you're watching this, as you can see, I got the new Shure microphone, so I'm part of the fam now. But also an amazing creator. She has I think it's called the Song 43 podcast. I could be wrong on that. Paul might be correcting me, but yeah. Fulgence Henry from ENN, Ecamm Network News. He was there. That's Michelle once again. Oh, I forgot his name. He was the photographer of the event. I really was able to help him out because was it the first night? It was either the first night or the second night. He was taking photos like at that event where we were doing all the selfies there, and somebody asked him about his camera, and he went to demonstrate something and did not put the camera on the tripod correctly and dropped his R5 with I forgot the lens. Dude, there was glass everywhere. Everyone just like everyone's heart stopped. This camera hit the ground. Oh, it was horrible, but I did not freak out. I went right to him to help him out, and we found out that it wasn't the lens. It was just the lens filter. The bad part about it was a rental lens. So maybe he'll let me know exactly what ended up happening with it, because he had to return it and he was just going to have to find out, because it fell so hard that the filter was what broke, and I was able to clean up the glass on it so that he was able to continue to use the lens for the event. The autofocus and everything was working, but I did not have the tools with me, and I think I would have needed a Dremel to remove the ring that was bent on it. So one way or another, the rental company was going to find out that he dropped the lens, because it was going to come back with a filter ring that was not, we were not able to remove it. This is Kathy as well, also known as K-Wall Comedy. This is a selfie that I love, and I wanted to share this one with you guys because it's really hard for me to get selfies with Aiden, and this is a picture that I absolutely love of us, you know, on our trek up to, to New York. This is Gretchen, images by Gretchen. She's always been here. This is a photo of me at Ecamm HQ with Doc Rock doing a live stream in the back while I edit a video. These are just kind of like things that I wanted to share with you guys, because these are just the milestones that I would have said 2 years ago. Would have never thought that would have been me taking a photo or a selfie with, like, in Massachusetts at Ecamm HQ. This is Doc Rock, and that's Kleb, also known as Caleb, but we know him as Kleb. And us having a meal at this restaurant over there off of Plum Island. It was called the Surf. Oh no, was it the Sunrise? Yeah, I think it was the Sunrise Club. Yeah, that was the name of it, the Sunrise Club. And it was a really cool restaurant / bar. It was kind of open to the elements. It was repurposed like car garage. So where we're sitting there in the restaurant is kind of like the service bays where you used to pull in the vehicles, and those big like garage doors were just open, and that's what allowed all the like wind and everything to just flow into it. Bad part is that those days, as you can see, we're wearing jackets because it was kind of cold, and all that wind did not help the situation. So we were just like hanging out and freezing ourselves there. Oh, this is a picture that I took with Jill. This is Jill Morin. She's, those Ecamm fams know who she is. She's an awesome content creator, also a remote producer, but she was one of the models that we were taking video of and photographing for the Ecamm photo shoot. So that was really cool that I was able to meet her. This is my man. This is KP and his wife Tina. That's Keith Pelzer, Grammy award-winning music producer, friend of mine. He lives in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, but not Philadelphia. He lives in another part, which is way out to the countryside. But on the way down, coming to Miami, I was able to stop and had an amazing time. So Keith, once again, shout out to my man, because just had so much fun. I was able to meet his sons, which are amazing, and like just very impressed with his sons and an amazing family. So that's a picture that would just mark that day. It was so much fun. And then this is one of my last days. This is Felicia Alston. She was in Georgia, in Savannah, Georgia, and we were able to meet. As you can see, the green the green umbrellas in the background to have a Starbucks coffee on my way back to Miami. So I was able to meet her, and more importantly, she was able to meet Aiden, and that was another experience that I will cherish and treasure for the rest of my days. So super cool. But I'll tell you the truth, most people only like me because of Aiden. I'm a firm believer of that, but I am lucky enough to be his father, and that's where we're gonna do that. So that was kind of like what I wanted to share with you guys for Cities Gaw portion of it. But I'm gonna go and recheck the chat now. All right, get something to drink. Oh, saying desktop. Let's go back to the main. All right. That's nice. Hey, you know what? That's true. 7 o'clock on the West Coast. It's not bad. Says, I like the concept of being able to pick the color of the shirt. Having a tuxedo cat doesn't go well with black shirts. Yeah, but that's the other thing, right? To have just a bunch of different styles and also different textiles. You know, it could be the same message, but it's almost like when it just kind of hit me. It's like Nike, right? Nike's slogan is just do it. But they have that in so many different textiles, upside down, coming across, looking like it's scattered paint and everything like that, and a bunch of different styles, but then they're all saying just do it. So they could all say upgrade your skills, but just like I could even make one kind of like in what was it called, Wibblings, you know, like just a bunch of, or maybe make it out of emojis, right? Upgrade your skills somehow through emojis and put that on a shirt. Just different ideas. So okay, so Valerie's saying these pics are so awesome, all the peeps. Thank you. That's what I said. Like, and I have so many more, and that doesn't even go into like all the experiences, because one of the days that we were in Amesbury, Massachusetts, it was a Saturday that we had off. There was a car show of all of these classic cars, and me and Doc just went crazy photographing, videotaping, like so many like awesome vehicles that were so pristine. Like, I could tell you the truth, like they don't deal with the salt water that we deal with here in South Florida that just corrupts and rusts cars like nothing. So they were like in mint condition to see all of these really old vehicles. Okay, so I was right. He says, yeah, Laura, Song 43 podcast. Yep. He says, I remember that my heart stopped for a second. Yeah, everyone's heart stopped for a second. That was there. That was super cool. Likewise. Says, cool selfie, man. Glad to have met you in person. Likewise. Hey, Tech for Your Knees Nano is here saying, what's up, folks? How are you doing, sir? Thank you for being able to make it, even though we're finishing up. But this is what I'm going to leave you with, right? I've been mentioning to you throughout this entire thing that like 100 episodes of the live stream, how drastically things have changed from, you know, like my first live stream, you know, back in 2020, 2020. So back in 2020 in December, right? No, it was actually 2019. We were making the new year, but I digress. My channel goal, right? My channel goal was to get 100 subscribers so that I can get my custom URL. And that ended up happening like 9 days after the fact that I like professed it and said that that's what I wanted to do. There was a lot of things that I've said that I wanted to do and that I've wanted to accomplish, and I've been able to do those and more from that time. And something that I was just able to do for the first time, and I wanted to just, I guess, share it with you to record it, is this little camera. Now, I spoke about this camera last week's episode of the live stream, that Sony had come out with a couple of new cameras, and what my like what I was gonna do with these new cameras that were going to be available. A new one that just came out is the A7R5, which I think I'm gonna talk about next week because there's a lot of things, and I'll be the first one to tell you that they literally shut me up like right away. I mention to you guys all the time, I don't like the flip screen, the flip out screen. I will prefer a flip up screen or just a traditional, you know, photography type of screen. And they totally knocked it out of the park with what they were able to put on this new A7R5. But like I said, a little bit of a teaser. We'll leave that for next week. But I had mentioned to you that I was going to pick up the less expensive the Sony ZV-1F and make content based around it. I know a lot of people are going to be looking into this $500 camera as a beginner camera. And I said I was probably going to go to Best Buy and pick it up. What ended up happening was when I went to check Best Buy, they still don't have it in stock. They're going to have it in stock tomorrow. So I wanted to get my hands on this camera right away. So I ordered it from B&H on Monday and I got my hands on it on Wednesday. And I made a quick little unboxing video. And that's kind of when it hit me. And like, that's why I said, like, these things don't get lost on me, but sometimes they take a second before they really sink in, which is, this is the first camera that I bought on this channel with my own money, with its sole purpose being to create content on this channel. So if it hasn't gotten to you or you don't understand what I'm trying to say with that, is that when I first started this channel, this is the last thing that I thought that I would just be able to go out and pick up a piece of tech like this, because it's kind of like my job, right? Because it's something that, on top of it's something that I want to do, it's something that will greatly benefit me and this channel and so many things. But this is the first camera that I've been able to buy as a release of the camera. And I know that it's not going to be the last, right? That there's going to be so many more. But this one, without it knowing, is already gotten a little special part of my heart, because this is another milestone for me. This is another like moment to kind of reference and to say, there was a time that I would have never thought that I would be buying a camera just for my YouTube channel. And this is the first. And like I said, it won't be the last. So on another note, if you guys have any questions about this little camera here, make sure that you leave them down or just message me any way, shape, or form, because I'm going to be making a lot of content around it. I already filmed my first vlog with the camera, right? I took it out and took a walk around the neighborhood with Aiden, grabbed some food, and recorded documented my journey with it. Gonna edit it and see what it looks like, to see exactly what this camera can provide for a new content creator straight out of the box. That's my plans with it, but just wanted to share that with you, because even though that's what my goal is with this camera, it still now, just like I said, holds this special little place in my heart now, because it is the first camera that I was able to buy solely from the efforts from my YouTube channel and solely for the YouTube channel. ZV-1F. Well, with that, I'm going to leave you all. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out with me. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you just hit that like button. It goes a long way. It's highly appreciated. And I hope, if anything, this can inspire you just a little bit to get started. You know, my first live stream was a complete debacle, right? And now we get to a point where I am so comfortable doing the live streams that a lot of times I don't even have a script. And when I don't have a script, they tend to just flow so much easier that I just end up going 20 minutes over my time without even realizing it. So that's why I tell you, if I can do anything, hopefully I can be a bit of inspiration to help you get to that next point or help you get started on your own journey. Now, let me just say bye to the people in the crew. Oh, Shane is in here. Okay, we got a couple of questions about it. Says they have to deal with the salt water from road during winter months. Ooh, never thought of that. But the bad part about the salt over here is like it's in the air. So even if you were to park your car and not move it, like it will gain rust just by sitting there, which is the bad part. You know, like I've seen rust happen in garages, which is like humidity and salt in the air. Stupid. It says, how are you liking the new camera? Believe it or not, I'm liking it for the fact that it's not my phone, right? I'm not too sure how I'm gonna enjoy the quality of the footage because of one thing. Right now, I'm putting it through its paces like if I was a total noob, right? I have not touched it. The only thing that I did was do the initial setup, which is like time and date, and that's it. I'm using it completely on intelligent auto, which is the way that most people would be using the camera, like just taking it out of the box, charging it, and then doing video and photos with it. So that's where I'm putting it through its paces first. And I've been documenting and recording it. I haven't really looked back at the footage, to even start editing it. I will let you know most likely for next week how that looks. And then this week I am going to get in there and I'm going to start actually putting in my own settings to try to get the best image out of the camera. And then I'll tell you how I feel more or less about the camera and who I think it would be best for, if it's like really good for, like I already tried, and I'm just letting you know, I already tried the plug and play USB-C to webcam, and it works great. I did a Discord and I asked some people if they could tell the difference, and they really couldn't. But this is with good lighting, right? I want to see not ideal lighting and how someone would be using it in their day-to-day, basically straight out of the box. Intelligent auto, not knowing anything about settings, and how that would, like how the footage will look to them. That's kind of what I'm testing. This is what I'm saying. Shane was here saying what's up. Kevin Cops is clapping, saying bye. Sly is here saying hi, Lewis and fellow camera junkies. I've been listening while driving home. Just don't want to, says the chat to drive. I understand. She has a question. It says, does the ZV-1F have a flip up or flip out screen? It has a flip out screen. That's what these new cameras are coming out with. So it has a flippy out screen. This is the one thing. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not the biggest fan of the flip screen, but this is the thing that I think is going to be the change for me. If you were to open it, right, it turns on. And if I were to press record right now and I close the screen, it will stop recording and it will shut the camera off because it has that set up. I would like to be able to record video just like this, because I'm not the biggest fan of like actual flip screens in general, because what it does is that it attracts your eye and then you're not focused on the lens and you're looking off. You're basically being vain, so to speak, and you're looking at yourself instead of looking at the lens, which is what should be your, like your focus point. So what I was able to do is, having the camera closed just like that, I am able to turn it on in the closed position, which keeps the LCD off, meaning battery life goes up because you're not displaying or using any electricity to display it. Plus, the heat should come down because being that the LCD is off, it's also not creating any heat because it's not being utilized. So those are two things. The camera is on, and with that, I am able to press record and record with the screen being off. and the lens being wide enough, I know that I can just hold it at arm's length and I am within shot and within frame. Now, other things that I'm going to test out is to see the stability, both the active stabilization that's built into the camera compared to what we know as the catalyst browse, which is the gyro stabilization done in post. I've already used the catalyst browse with other cameras, and I know that that works really well and is something that interests me, and I'm glad that this camera has that available, because I think personally, for the way that I shoot my videos, I think I'm going to be using it with no stabilization and doing all stabilization in post. That's just my workflow, right? The way that I feel that I would be able to best utilize this camera for me. But those are the things that are going to be coming down the pike that I'm just waiting to see what or how I'm going to best utilize this camera. But those are the questions that I have. All right. And I think that's it. Yep. Oh, Dr. Sev is in the house, and congrats. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. But yes, that is everyone saying good night and goodbye. Everyone, thank you as always for hanging out and taking the time. Our time being our most valued commodity, our most valued possession, right? Our time. And yeah, and thank you as always for hanging out here with me. It means the world to me, and I cannot wait to do it all over again. I am going to be shooting and letting you all know who are here that episode 101 is most likely going to be held at 10 p.m. So we're going to be shooting for 1 hour earlier next week. And that way we see how that goes, and we'll see how we will format it. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces here as we figure it out together. So guys, have a great and happy, safe week, and I can't wait to see you next time.
Fired all of the bullets. Yeah, you shot me through the heart. Casting dice and roulette. The game was set right from the start.